Hello, hello, hello. It's Kate Bolt, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the UK. I'm back for Scrapbook Sunday. I've got a memory keeping project for us today, but it's not a 12 by 12. I made this project years ago at a team event. My team leader designed a project using this, but I do believe it's a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock. And then a couple of years down the line, I remade it using an A4 sheet. And that's what I'm going to do today. It's a bit of fun and I'll show it you before we start. So this is one I recreated a couple of years ago for my own team event, and it's a little album and it was from our 2022 Yosemite trip. I can't even remember the name of these gorgeous papers that we had at the time, but I made this and I put lots of photos in and just some little ephemera. I didn't overly decorate it, but I really thought the papers spoke to me. So I'm going to try and recreate it today and show you how to make it. It was super simple, if I remember. It looks much harder than it is. So, and the reason I scaled it down was because I figured that most of the people I knew at the time, because most of it was card making, had an A4 sheet. So that's why we're going with that. But you could scale it up to 12 by 12 quite easily. Although I did do that. I found to stand it up as a piece, it was a lot more unwieldy. So I'm going to stick with the A4 because I think it will, it's much easier to stand up and display. Right, okay, so I've got my A4 sheet and I've got to remember what the measurements are now. So I do believe it is 11 inches by 8 1/4. So I've got my trimmer. Now all our UK A4 is already at 8 1/4, so we're going to leave it at that, and I'm going to trim a little bit off because it's 11 inches. So with the long side at the top, I'm just going to take that bit off the end. So that's where we're at. We've got a tiny scrap. Okay, the next thing you want to do is you want to divide it into kind of a grid. So if you want 4 squares, they won't be squares, but 4 sections going along, you want them to be 2 3/4 inches. So I'm going to score it at 2 3/4 inches, not cut. Make sure the cutting blade's out of the way. I've done that before. And then 5 1/2. Ooh, stuck. 5 1/2. And then, oh, I think it's stuck because I had my sweater caught in my trimmer. And then 8 1/2. No, 8 1/4 inches. Oh, that's funny. 8 1/4. And then I'm going to turn it on its side. Okay, and I've got to remember what we're doing now. 2 3/4 and then 5 1/2, I'm pretty sure. Because I didn't write it down, so I'm hoping it's right. 5 1/2. And then you'll have a kind of grid effect. I don't know if you can see the light's pretty bad. I am away when these videos are coming live, and so I'm doing all my videos at once, so it's very dark in my craft room because it's late. I normally do all my videos in the daylight purely for that reason, but needs must. So you can see we've got this kind of grid effect going on. So, but I do want to put another couple of creases down these outer middle squares. So what I'm going to do is going to put it back in my trimmer, and I am going to go half of that 2 3/4. I'm going to go 1 3/8 of an inch. So 1, and just where it is half on my trimmer, I'm going to go back to the largest next line, and that they're 8ths rather than 16ths. And this middle one, I'm going to bring my score up. Just going to line it up. I'm just scoring the middle square only. So you'll be able to see that I have a nice score line in the middle one, and I'm going to turn the whole thing all the way around. Do the same on the other side. What did I say it was? 1 3/8. So there, and then do the same. Now we have all our scores done. We need to do a little bit of cutting. So you may be able to see that I have a score line here and a score line here, and these 2 middle score lines. I'm going to cut on my trimmer from this middle, this one that we just did, down and stop here and here. Okay, so we're not cutting any pieces out, but we are making some cuts. Right, so I'm going to start my line. You can line it up with the groove on your trimmer quite well. And make sure you only go up to that middle score line that we just made. And this is literally as hard as it gets. Okay, so we've now done that. Right, that's all of that done. So next thing is to make sure that it sort of bends and folds in the right way. So I'm going to take my sample one because it will remind me how it folds, because this one hasn't been folded. The middle is going to, I'm going to fold these ones up here. Make sure it's well folded. You can get your bone folder out if you want. This one's going to fold back the other way, like that. So we've got that one and that one like that. Now these two are going to fold out like that. Okay, so when you fold them all together, says me, there's a way of doing this. Hang on. So this is the original, and it folds lovely, doesn't it? It's got a lot more, it's got a cover on, which we'll need to make. I forgot about the cover. So, okay, so it goes in and it comes together like that. Why is my bit coming out? Oh, because these ones, I did it a minute ago on a scrappy piece and it worked perfectly well. So I've no idea. Oh, there you are. I've just been a bit daft. It needed tucking in. So there we go. Tucks in when you do that. Why is mine tucking in when I do it that way then? It's very late today. But when you stand it up, it looks exactly the same. Okay, that's fine. We've got it. And then we're going to put a cover on it afterwards. So what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to choose a different colour for my cover. And I didn't measure my pieces of cardstock for that. So let's have a look. It looks like I've got a couple of different pieces here. So I think I'm going to go with, it is 8.5, because it's obviously 1/4 of an inch bigger than the original piece. So it's 8.5. That should probably be about 3. Yes, 8.5 by 3. I think I'm going to grab a Calypso coral piece. Now, let's have a look. So 8.5 by 3. Let's move this one up. So we want 8.5 this way. We'll keep that bit by 3. And then again, because we want a cover on the front and a cover on the back. Okay, so that's where we're at. Calypso coral. Okay, so this is going to be our cover. It's going to go on here. And it's going to go on here. Okay, and that's going to then stand up, I think. Right, so the other thing to note is to make it do this, you need to be using these score lines here in the middle, and the cover therefore is not glued on this part. So we'll glue our covers on so I can show you what I mean by that. Okay, so remember this. Right, it's been a long time. So the idea being no glue goes on that bit. So I'm going to use my seal, and I'm going to put this seal on the actual album. I'm going to pop it on with a nice border all the way around. The other thing you can do if you want to tie it together with a ribbon so it stays shut and you can give it to someone, put your ribbon on the back before you then put the back cover on, and then it will tie around the front, if that makes sense. So now I have this bit free because I've not put any adhesive there. And the same on this one. Oh, there we are. So I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to put my adhesive here. You can use tearing tape, seal, whatever you prefer. This is quite good, but you might want something that you know is definitely going to stay. Right, put that one on there. Make sure it's nice and flat. And there you have it. So you've now got this. Now let me see why mine doesn't sit the same. I think this one has been so well used. It's been sat on my, that needs to come out, that needs to go in, and that needs to come out, and that needs to go in. And then this one goes that way. This is it, that's why. And then that goes that way. There you are. It's exactly the same. There we go. So sweet. I love that. It's quite effective, isn't it? And then it's a simple kind of case of decorating it. So I don't have any photographs for this one yet. By the time I complete it, I'll put some photographs in there and I'll pop it up on my Instagram so you can see exactly what that looks like. So hop over there and have a look. This was a photo. This was a holiday of us, or when we went away to Yosemite National Park. And yeah, I put a lot of those in there, and I just kind of put some other little bits and pieces in. So I did think that I might decorate it a little bit. So I've got the Memories and More pack, the Sweet Thoughts one, and I really like it. It's got lots of lovely things in there. And I thought I could have some fun with it. This cover isn't on straight, is it? I'll come back and put that on very straight because that annoys me. That's very annoying. So you can put designer series papers here. You can put Memories and More cards. These are really super cute, aren't they? And you can cut them to fit. So we know that these squares are 2 3/4 inches. So I'm going to just pick out some to go all over. The Happy Life, that's nice. Let's have a look. We've got a lot to look at, so I'm not fancying the yellow. Do you want Makes Us So Happy? That one's good. We're going to use that one. I'll use some of the stickers. I might be able to get the butterfly in. Have I got a paintbrush? We'll use that one. And there's so many to choose. Life is Wonderful. That would be nice. So many. And you can kind of, the details you could write in. You can cut them up. You can do whatever you like. So I'm going to start off with it. Now I know they're 2 3/4 inches. So I want my, oh, that's annoying, that is. I want my little squares to be about 2 1/2. I'll have to come back and re-put that on there because that's very annoying when there's a gap. Right, so I think I'm going to start off by cutting this one down to 2 1/2. Now these are quite large, they're 4, they should be about 4 by 3. So I'm going to cut it off a little bit at both ends to get it to 2 1/2. Is it in shot? I hope it is. So I'm cutting off bits and pieces, but you know, that's fine. I'm not worried. Okay, so now I've got a nice little square. And they're going to go on here like that. So if I cut some more out, we can decide. I'm going to cut that one out, I think. I might cut that one out if it'll fit. Let's have a look at this one. I don't want Dream Big. That actually disappears, so we won't be using that one. Don't want the yellow. Let's have a look. This one's great, and that coordinates. But this one's nice as well. So I might cut off the details and use it elsewhere. So I want it 2.5 that way, a little bit off this end, a little bit off this end, like that. So that can go on here, like so. I like the white. Grab some more of these. I love you to pieces. The world needs more people like you. That would be lovely. I don't think I can get that in a 2.5-inch square. Might be able to. Let's see what else there is. Good things. Lovely moments. That was a nice one. Let's see what else. Maybe a bit more yellow. Lots there. The journaling ones might work, but they're going to be quite large, and I think we'll end up cutting off all the back. So let's just go for it. So if I make this one 2.5, I can use the You Are My Sunshine. So I'm going to put that one there. Cut this one down. It's just a bit of fun, isn't it? Do you like making little 3D projects for your memory keeping? I like mini albums. I like anything like this as well. So the idea is I'm going to cover up most of these little squares, and I'm going to put photographs over the top of some of them, and some of them are going to say something. So I don't know if I can get I love you to pieces in there. It might just chop it off, which would not be clever. This one is nice. It's got enough white on there, I think. So it's not going to be big enough, is it? So it's going to cut. No, that's not going to be big enough. So I'm going to cut halfway through the writing. So I don't want that one. The green's quite sweet, but I don't think we'll use that. Right, we'll go with this one. I can keep all the little pieces that I'm cutting off and use them on another one. 2.5. So pop it up there. Another one. The other side. This is, I have a lot of these Memories and More cards, and I tend to get the packs and use a lot out of the middle, and then I'm left with a few. So this is a great way of using them up as well. So whilst it looks a bit, you know, wanton cutting them up, why not? If it means you're using them and they're not just sitting in a packet, I say go for it. So we've got that one. Not sure about the green. There's big ones. That's fabulous. I wonder if I can get a couple out of that one. What about the butterflies? There's so much in here. That's a gorgeous butterfly. That's going to make a beautiful card. It might well go on a page though. This one's, did I use this one? Don't think so. Okay, so we're going to use these ones. This reminds me, honestly, I love these Memories and More cards. They remind me of the 1970s vibe. Do you know what I mean? With these like colours and images. It really does. So let's cut this one up. I think I'm going to have to think about what kind of photos that I use on this one, because if I use something that was very colourful, it would get lost with all of this. But I'm thinking about putting some black and white photos on there, which would be great, wouldn't it? Let's put some more butterflies in. I'm just using the direction that I want. Bear in mind, a lot of this is going to be covered over anyway. So you can kind of move things around to where you want them to be. So I know that I've got 1, 2, 3 left. I've got a lot of scraps over here now. You can't see what I'm doing, can you? I will bring that down and show you now. I've managed to chop them all up. Let's go with that. Don't know which way up that goes, to be fair. Don't think it really matters, does it? Because the butterfly is that way up. I think it's that way. And then this one, I'm going to have to do one either side and score it in the middle. Let's do another one of these. Then I'll find one more. That's there. Let's pop it over there so it's got a bit of contrast. And then let's have one more. And we should be good. I'm really happy I started to use lots of these Memories and More cards for this. I thought I had, oh yeah, I do have one of those. What's the other bit that I've chopped off? Not big enough. So we're going to cut this one up. 2.5. If I cut the other side of it, it looks like it's a different part. Okay. So if I move these over, oh, I didn't use a little paintbrush. That would be so cute. I might have to put that on there. Right, I'm thinking about this one. So for these here, actually, let's just move them around because I don't want to put a score mark in something that isn't where I want it scored. So bring it back in. Maybe you can see it a little bit better now. So we have got all of these, and all I'm going to do now is fiddle around and decide where I want it. And do you know what? I quite like that as it is. Can you see it? That one's not going to go there, clearly. So I might just bring this one down. That one there and that one there. No, that one's better there. How's that? Is that okay? Do you think it'll work? Let's go for it anyway. I'm thinking about this one. I really like it and I want it in there. So I might just pop it here. I might make another one of these. I really like it. And move that one out. And cut this one down to 2.5. If it keeps the paintbrush. Let's see. Let's take a bit of the top off. 2.5. Where do we get to? Yep. Let's take a bit off each side. Don't actually need to take much off of here. Right. So we've got this one. That's super cute, isn't it? Super cute. I think I might swap that one around. I really like that. That there like that. And then, so I now know that if these two are going here, they need scoring in the middle. You could even cut them. I might cut them actually. That will be better. So 1 3/4, let's do that. No, they're 2.5, aren't they? 1.25 I need it. Yeah. Just thinking about my maths, that's why, you know, it's very late and my brain is not functioning very well. I mean, it doesn't function that well at the best of times. Right, okay. So, let's pop that in there and there and there. And now we can glue it all together. How fun is this? Right, here we go. Now, I think I'm going to use my Tombow, which gives me a little bit more wriggle room than when I used my seal on the cover and it stuck fast, because I'm going to have to redo that one side to make it really level. My Tombow's got stuck. Oh, how annoying. My pokey tool and have a poke. Then you end up with it all spurting everywhere, don't you? It's not what you want either. Yeah, look at that. Okay. Liquid glue, you are my friend. Be my friend tonight. There we go. One. Do you know, I think scrapbooking at night like this, or in the evening, would be nice on a live, because you could have a little chat with everybody. I feel like I'm all alone. I might consider doing a scrapbook evening live. That might be quite fun. Oh, see all that glue coming out? The good thing about it is it all dries clear. Way too much, because it was very full, this glue. It's just got all a bit stuck. Right, so that's that one. Oh, that's nice on that side as well. So you see why it's giving me 70s vibes. Do you, if you're watching, have any other hobbies, craft hobbies? I like to crochet, and I've got a work in progress. It's been in progress for quite some time. I made a lovely blanket. It's a simple granny square. It's really pretty. And my son said to me, oh, I'd love one of those. Can you make me one in 70s colours? So we found a whole colour palette and we chose all the colours, and I'm busy. I actually have a few blankets on the go, so it's taking far longer to make his, but it's on the go. And the colours in this, whilst I don't have these corals in the blanket, they are giving me his blanket vibes. All these kind of mustardy yellows, and I've got the petrol, you know, those kind of colours. They're all in this blanket. It's all a bit of fun, isn't it? So I've got to decide what's going to go on the front of this album, and I can't be on here for hours, so maybe I'll try and complete what I can. Maybe I might need to do some later as well and come back to it, but now you can see how it's made. I'll definitely come back to put the photographs on, and I do think it might end up being black and white ones, because any photographs competing with this busy, beautiful busyness is going to be a competition, isn't it, for them. Super pretty. Right, just the bottom ones to go. That's nice. Oh, did I stick that one upside down? No, I meant to do that. So this is the other side. I think once I've completed this project and this video, I will actually sit down in front of the TV with that blanket and get it out. That'll be nice. Oh, I did manage to get I Love You to pieces. That would have looked nice on there, wouldn't it? But I still think I'm going to go with that because although that's quite nice. How much busier is it with all of that? I think I'm going to do the I Love You to pieces. If it's not something that works with the photographs, I can cover it up. There we go. So we have got that now. Let's see how this works. Oh, there's the cover. Sweet Thoughts, Memories and More. That is so sweet, isn't it? How nice that is going to look. What do you think? It's very vibrant, but I love that. So I wish they'd made us some designer series papers to go with it. I could have used it on the front. So I've got some things that when I've got my photographs in, I'm going to use that I've cut off these. I've got You Are My Sunshine. I've got the details. Now, what else have I got over here? I've got, those are parts. Those are not cut. Those are just full ones. I did like the Life is Wonderful. And I've got loads of little offcuts that I have cut off these cards that I can use in some way. Maybe punch them into circles or die cut them, or little hearts or stars that could go on there and decorate it with. So lots of ideas for decorating it. The front I'm not sure about. I definitely need something on there. And I use a label. So this would look really nice on there if I cut it out, but I feel like I need some papers. Now, what papers have I got with these colours in? Let's have a little look. I have got the Masterfully Made papers. They are lovely. Maybe I just put another piece of cardstock on, I'm thinking. So these are nice. They do have a similar, I mean, they don't have, so they have the Calypso, no, don't have the Calypso Coral. They do have the Pretty Peacock colour. So it may be that I could put Pretty Peacock paper on there. I don't know how that would look or tone in with the actual album though, because it's a completely different look. So let's have a think. Right, I think a piece of Pretty Peacock cardstock is going to go on the front. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Pretty Peacock. Okay, thinking away. Can you hear my brain clicking? Yeah, I don't have any other there. Stamp, tone on tone stamping would look nice. But I think I'm just going to put this one on. Now, I know that this is, did I say it was 3 inches, of course. So I'm going to make this one 2 3/4. So it's 3 inches, 3 by 8 and a half, was it? 3 by 8 and a half. So I need it 2 3/4 by 8 1/4. So it's already 8 1/4, isn't it? So if I get it and do it at 2 3/4, let's see how this works, if this is right. Yeah, 2 3/4, 2 3/4. Right. going to go on there. That's going to go on there. This is going to be our album. I'm very tempted to put some ribbon on. But I think I'll stick with what I'm at. Right, okay. So I'm going to glue this on. Let's do that. So have you all been scrapbooking? Have you all been making stuff? I would love to know. And what's your favourite thing to scrapbook? Is it your family? It's generally families, isn't it? Could be your pets. Could be anything. Everyday life is a really good thing to scrapbook. It's amazing how things that you wouldn't normally take a photograph of are interesting later on in years. Your favourite cup you have for your coffee in the morning, or what the cars look like, because you can guarantee 20 years down the road everything outside looks different, but you haven't noticed because it's just normal. Right, okay, so that's the cover. Ooh, it's got caught. There we are. That's the cover for our little album, and it's instantly made it much more sturdy and easier to stand up. Okay, so I think I'm going to pop this on here, and I think I'm going to cut it out, but if I cut it out, I'm going to have to cut out all around these little bits. Ooh. Well, I'm going to try. I'm probably going to put something behind it as well, because it's not going to show on the matching card, but that's fine. So don't be scared to cut up your cards. It's all fun. Let's do the easy bits first, hey? I just want to sing that song every time I see this phrase. And there's two reasons why I'm not going to. One is because you certainly don't want to hear me singing. It would not be fun. And also we wouldn't want to get copyrighted, although I can't imagine anybody would recognise it if I sang it, but you know. Right, let's try these little flowers and see how we get on. Ooh, not sure if this is going to work. Right, here we go. I know how everyone loves a bit of detailed cutting. I know, I can hear you saying that's just what you want to do. You know, you don't have to do this. I love it, actually. I find it quite therapeutic cutting out. Okay, that's not so bad. Not so bad at all. I think we can get away with that. Right, so we've got this one. That's not actually straight now on the top, which is very annoying. That's better. We'll keep the details. We'll keep You Are My Sunshine. I'm going to put those in there when the photographs go in. Now, the other thing is we have loads of stickers and things for this Memories of More pack. Lots there to give us more options. So let's have a little look. We've also got the big ones. So they wouldn't be the right size to use as a cover. But, you know, you could cut out and have things going down the way. That would be really cute, wouldn't it? I don't think I have the patience to do that right now, to cut this out, but yes. Beautiful, fabulous, amazing, lovely, wonderful. But I think I'm going to use Life is Wonderful. I do like this butterfly. It will be coming out and being used, but not on this album. Okay, so I really like that, but I'm not going to cut that out. No, I'm not going to make you watch me cut that out either. I would like it if you came back one day. Okay, so there's a sticky butterfly. So how is this? So I'm just deciding what I'm going to put on here. Right, I think I'm going to keep the butterfly for now. He's too nice to mess up. But I like this one as well. And we do have this image inside, don't we? But I don't think I've got enough room to layer that with and be able to see it as a paintbrush. You just see the flowers. And I don't think that's right. So I think this one's going to go on. I think I'm going to pop it up on foam pads. I mean, I could put something else behind it, but no. I think I'm just going to pop it up. So if I can find my dimensionals. When I was at the On Stage event last week, or whenever it was now, because you're watching this video quite a lot later, the head of marketing was doing a presentation. She was crafting. She was brilliant. She was doing a presentation and she said when she can't remember the name of the stamping dimensionals, these sticky foam pads, and I can't find mine. They have disappeared in the destruction that is my desk. I can only find the small ones. She says when she can't remember the name of them, she calls them puffy uppy stickers. Puffy uppy stickers, she calls them. And I just remembered. So I can't find my puffy uppy stickers, but I can find my tiny ones. That's not much help. I've got loads of tiny puffy uppy ones, but that's not much help, is it? I've been recording very many videos and my desk looks like World War III. Right, I'm going to see if I can find some more. Yes, I found some more puffy uppy stickers. They're the right size. Very ridiculous, isn't it? So I think what I'm going to do is pop some in the middle kind of thing so that I've got room around the outside. If I want to put any of those little sticky flowers on there, I can tuck them in. Right, okay, Life is Wonderful. It's going to go on here. I like that a lot. I used a lot of the flowers that were in these sticker sheets the other day on a project. I've got these really pretty foiled ones. Let's see, what have I got left? I've got this nice line of them, but I do have a few of these. I've got this one. I've got a few on here. Right, I'm not going to stick them down too hard in case I don't like the way I put them down. Am I the only one who procrastinates over sticking things down? I hope I'm not. So I think I might even be using up all my flowers. Oh, that one came apart. Clearly I was getting a bit aggressive with it. Oh, no, the cat's arrived. It's like Dr. Dolittle in here. So I might need to put a dimensional under here because this one is now sticking up. Oh, I love all these stickers. So we've got Smile Today. We've got lots of them. Yeah, one more dimensional. Okay, so, ooh, didn't take the back off it. There we are. That would help, wouldn't it? Okay, so we've got all of these pieces, and then we have got, it's not that dissimilar, is it? I've got a label idea. I've got the florals, and I did that without even thinking about it. How funny. I think our heads kind of do the same kind of layout because that's what we find pleasing to the eye. So I'm going to come in here and think about what photographs I'm going to pop in. There's going to be lots. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to cut out You Are My Sunshine. I'm going to put some of these stickers on. All of these, not all of these, some of these, but the details. So that's where I'm going to end it. You now know exactly how to make the album. But I will show it on my Instagram with all the photographs inside and finished, because if I go and stick any more stickers on here now, I'll be covering them up with photographs. It's better to get the photos on and then embellish it afterwards. But I hope you've enjoyed seeing my scrappy memory keeping video today, and you might be inspired to play with the Memories and More cards from Stampin' Up. Everything you see is available in my online shop, and that link is in the description box down below. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please give me a thumbs up if you have. And if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. That really helps me lots and lots. And if you click the little bell, you'll get notifications of future videos. Anyway, have an amazing Scrappy Sunday, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.